Welcome. You found the Team Mediocre Technical Tidbits YouTube channel where I, the Demonic Axeman, alongside.
Myself, the Bud Cephas, dive into PC builds and provide technical tidbits along the way. So come chill out and nerd out. Here we have the Apiva X Cruiser case, known to us as the Green Hobgoblin.
Okay, today we're going to take an old school PC that I built back in 2008 for my little sister, and we're going to breathe new life into it. We're going to pull out the old components, talk about those, and install some components that's a lot more up to date.
For processor, we've got an Intel 2001 Pentium 4. Here you can see some of our disassembly. Tear down, clean up.
The motherboard in this is out of a Dell Dimension 4600. Probably around 2004. Here we have a Logicus 120mm fan, 70 CFM, 2000 RPM.
LED, so that means more frames.
Oh yeah, definitely. Here we have an old school IDE cable.
A very
Late
nice old
adapter.
school IDE cable.
Yes, it's quite old.
Look at this beautiful old school goodness. Video card, PNY G4 6200 256 megabit 64-bit memory interface running at 256 megahertz. NV44 GPU running at 350 megahertz. DirectX 9.0 support. No support for DirectX 11 or 12.
Sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad.
But still, yeah, cool little 8X AGB card.
We're going to Doom it. Play some Doom.
Yeah.
In later videos, we're going to use all these components again.
Little gigabit LAN card. Now let's pop the rest of these components out and Western Digital. That's actually a 7200 RPM drive.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
80 gigabyte.
80? I didn't realize it was that big either. I could almost fit Borderlands on that.
Almost. Removable mother tray. Awesome feature on this oak case.
It's one of the first ones I'd ever gotten to work with myself, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah. Back when I built this, I didn't think we would pull the cold cathodes out of it, so I when I soldered the connectors together, I didn't leave any way to take it out of the motherboard tray. Whoops. Fairly clean to be a 15-year-old PC. I have to say, she did take care of it.
That's one immaculate cooler.
And if anybody knows what this cooler is, let us know in the comments, because I cannot find it anywhere and I have no clue who makes it.
And we would like to restore this cooler.
Yes, because look at that thermal paste.
15-year-old thermal paste, guys.
I may have overdone it. And always save your old thermal paste. You can reuse.
Yeah, man. There's nothing wrong with reusing thermal paste.
It's probably frowned upon, but we're going to do it anyway. Because we're going to try to save what components we can out of this build. Just to keep it as true to what I built it as when I put it together.
Every component in the system after the rebuild is also reused components.
Right. This is a budget upgrade.
Here we have an Intel Pentium 4 from 2001 running at 2.4 gigahertz on one core, base frequency of 2.4 gigahertz, and it was running at between 1.35 and 1.52 volts.
With a TDP at 59.8 watts.
In our studies, we found the X pattern or the buttered toast method being the best.
Agreed. Yes, ladies and gents, we are reusing the 14-year-old thermal paste that came in this system. Like I said, what we can reuse, we are reusing. Just like the Apiva 680 watt iceberg.
With RGB.
And fan speed controller. Yes, we are doing the buttered toast method on the processor. Here we're installing a stock cooler.
You know, that one actually ain't a stock cooler.
Oh no, that's an Arctic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the stock one died. I forgot.
Yeah, we tried to put a stock one on it, but it's no way.
We had some Jones Bow RGB covers on the RAM with 16 gigabytes of RAM.
At DDR3. Everybody loves installing an I/O shield.
And what motherboard are we using here, bud?
We're using a Gigabyte GA B75N.
Nice. And here we are reinstalling the motherboard tray. Looks having a little issue, and you see my hand come in the frame, and I give him a little help there.
My hero.
Hey, I do what I can.
Hey, you do. That's what Team Mediocre is about, man.
That's right. Got to have that teamwork.
Here we're wiring up all the front panel I/O USBs. almost ran into a little snag on the I/O cables not being long enough, and we got lucky.
Yeah, we rerouted them in the front panel off camera, and we had just enough.
You'll see in a moment how stretched out we pulled these cables, but it works.
Here we are hooking up the USB front IOs, audio. Boy, them cables will be stretched tight. Here we are taking out the old IDE Molex CD-ROM.
Yes, you heard right. IDE and
DVD
Molex.
writer too.
That is old school goodness.
And a Sony at that.
That's what the kids like to say, bling bling.
Yes, there's Velcro on the front, but there's a reason I did that, and you'll see it a little later in the video. Here we are putting in a new CD burner. It's an LG, but it's SATA.
It was a new old stock CD-ROM, but we had some minor issues out of it because of the age.
We opened and closed the CD drive tray once, and then the belt broke inside, so we're going to have to replace that.
Which will be another cool video that we can teach you guys how to fix something.
Yeah, that'll probably be in a technical video where we repair various components that we've had issues with. Here we are reinstalling the acrylic fan. Boy, look at those UV reactive sleeve cables.
We didn't go for a nice cable managed look because we were still trying to kind of keep it on theme with the way it would have looked 20 years ago.
Okay.
Look at that beautiful bad boy.
That's a nice card. I love the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, MSI made some really nice cards in that era.
And that's a 1050 Ti.
Yes, it's a MSI Gaming X 1050 Ti.
Nice.
Was using my personal rig for about a year.
Hooking up the old 24 pin. There we go. Got it.
I love those UV sleeves on that power supply. Even to this day, I think it would hold up in a new build and look good.
I think so too. Good power supply. I used it in my shop for a couple years, powering a radio in my workbench.
There, she's about all buttoned up, cabled, ran, almost complete.
Putting in a hard drive. That's a Toshiba.
I think we stuck in a Toshiba 1 terabyte at 7,200 RPM.
That boat didn't feel right. One will suffice. Not like it's going 200 miles an hour.
Right.
Here we are booting it up for the first time.
Isn't it beautiful, guys?
You could only hear the giggles behind the screen here.
That was two happy, grown kid men right during this moment.
Yes, it was. It's like going back in time when I see the boot up when I built it 14 years ago.
airflow in that case is amazing.
Yeah, it's better than what we expected.
Because it only has two 80 mil fans in the front and one 120 mil fan in the back. And it's keeping the old 1050 Ti very cool and the processor running very cool. With using said old thermal paste, at an idle, it's at about 40 C.
Which is not bad.
In Windows.
And if my memory serves me right, it was Arctic Silver thermal paste, but I cannot quite remember for sure. Yeah, we'll tear the old power supply down and give it a good cleaning one of these days.
Yeah, we'll make her look immaculate. We just wanted a proof of concept first, and now we fell in love with it, and I think it's going to be our personal shop PC.
We have a decibel meter there. We have a
Temperature readout.
It does work. And the fan speed gauge does work. Not a bad looking case to be 14 years old.
Oh, on the side of the case. That wasn't a very standard thing then to have hardly any I/O on the front of your case.
True. And there we are with the cold cathode lit up.
Now, does that not scream 2000s gaming PC?
If it doesn't, I don't know what does.
I agree. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Join us on the next video where we'll be doing a complete teardown and rebuild of the Demonic Axeman's Corsair 5000D machine.
Where we'll be doing some much needed cable management and installation of a Corsair H150i 320mm AIO.